Hello, guys, and welcome to another stream. So hopefully you're all having as good of a Sunday as you can. And yeah, so today a little bit of a shorter stream. Just got a couple of engagements later on, but yeah, we'll try and get a little bit more work done around around some of these this mobile park, and hopefully get a little bit more of the interiors done on some of these, and see what we can achieve. So yeah, as just as an update from yesterday, I've been working on kind of just going through that statistics window that I was showing you a while back, and trying to reduce, reuse, and get rid of some of these textures that I probably don't really need. So the way I've been going at it is just kind of going with the uses. So going with the uses and looking at things like this modular stone wall. It's only used in one place. So can I replace it with something that would save me, like, and I know we're kind of going down to megabytes, but in the once you clean these up, should be a little bit better, and also for the future. Hey, Atlantica, welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's um like just any other weekend. It's been unfortunately it's been really hot, and I've had some issues with my AC, and yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable, but yeah, it's all good. Hopefully your weekend is going good as well. Yeah, so as I was saying, trying to I'm trying to get rid of some of the stuff, like for example, this cardboard box, there's only one usage, and you can see it's like 0 kilobytes. So, trying to look at what these are, and get rid of stuff like this that doesn't have anything in there. So that's also kind of part of the cleanup. It's a process. So yeah. Rain and thunderstorms. That's kind of what I've seen around New Hampshire as well. It's kind of just a little bit of a miserable weather. So, oh, nice. Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Um, yeah. So what I did since yesterday is I've worked a little bit on adding an interior to this. So, and of course, this is probably not typical having this plywood walls, but I'll try to get in some some sheetrock, like some like plaster type of materials, and so, Olenika, may I ask how old are you turning? I guess, like, uh, what's the clock gonna say starting tomorrow? All right. Well, let's see if I can 44. Hey, there you go. I'm 1 year away from you. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to do a little bit of fixing on some of these windows, maybe a little bit of materials around here, and so I think that should work as well. Uh, all right. Well, let's see if I can, like I said, find some I know I have some like a sheetrock material. Um, I'm hoping that's how I named it. Um, Plaster maybe. Let's see how this one would work. I think I've found something, but I'm not entirely sure if it's. I don't think it's like really plaster, but let's give it a shot. Hey, Hisham, welcome, welcome. Um, that's always good to do. I love, doing some kind of, uh, you know, fitness type of stuff every now and again because um, I think it's good for the mind as well, and ooh, that is definitely not the right stuff. But but yeah, I really enjoy doing that kind of stuff. So welcome, welcome to Sunday. Let's see. Can we find where did I ever put that? Um, Trims. I'm hoping I named it something, weird. But but then again, these are some probably some old things that um, might just be hard to find. Sheetrock. What else could that be? Could that material be called? It's maybe like sheet, something. Let's start try finding a texture. There's some metal sheeting. And the reason that I wanted to use this was it also had like edges, outlines. Nothing comes up. So let's see if we can get something from Quixel Bridge. I'm hoping they might have something like that, but um, I'm a little doubtful, to be honest. Let me just log into this thing real quick. All right. Um, Actually, no. So I haven't tried that just yet. Sorry about that. I didn't get around to trying. If you're referring to that tutorial they did that you posted on Discord, my apologies. Yeah, I didn't get around to trying that out. I think I watched it, but I just didn't. It looked pretty straightforward. It's just I had so much stuff that it just escaped my mind. Uh, oh, there we go. This is what I was looking for. Drywall. Maybe that's what I called it on my end. Drywall. There's plywood. This would definitely work out. I'm hoping. Let's see. Show in folder view. I was kind of hoping that it might be in the same directory, but it's not. So let's see if I can do drywall in here. All right, yeah, we do have some stuff, which is great. So I like the fact that this one has like the little edging, mudded drywall. This is also something that might be good. Um, Fresh wall plaster and their plaster lines. Let's try this. Oh, come on, I was already signed in. There we go. All right, so let's try this out. We'll see how it's going to look once it's on the actual walls and how they actually going to look up close. So I've already set up the um, the collisions, and I've tested it with the player, so you can enter this as well. And let's see, what I wanted to try is actually see if I can do a little bit of plywood on this surface, just to add a little bit of variety. So let's quickly, I just want to undo the carpet here for a little bit, because I wanted to actually just place the plywood on just like a certain section. So kind of like this. That might not be the right one. Let me try and put in like a cube or something. So on this, what I was thinking of doing is, applying this material to it, and come on, just kind of sticking it around the door like this. I'm guessing this could also be like some tile or something. It really depends. Though, I think I'm a bigger fan of the tile. And what I'll do, I'll use something from that, something that's already existing. So maybe just let's just get rid of that for now. But we did download the the drywall. So let's at least try and use that for the walls and see how it turns out. Okay, there we go. That's not too bad. I guess these artifacts, they might be due to the post-process volume, so we can play around with that for a little bit afterwards. To kind of try to remove these if you see them around the wall. We'll see if we can get rid of some of those. Um, all right. And what I'm gonna try and do is also get one of these plaster lines to to see if we can place it around these walls. Gonna see what's the scale of this first. Something like that. I'd rather have like some of these decals that you can like contain how far they're being rendered than, multiple, because I could potentially have like multiple materials on this, and that could work as well. But I do like throwing in some of these decals around here, kind of like this. So I guess a work in progress for this interior when it comes to the building, to the to this uh, mobile home itself. And let's finish off the kind of the structure, this interior structure. A lot of these, from what I've seen, they have some of these braces um, inside. So what I'll do is I'll just do the same thing here. So this is just these details. So something like that, I think could help a little bit framing the windows. So for example, that edge would be there. Maybe one could be, oops, one could be on the door frame as well. Just like that. And I think it also helps to break up the wall surface. So it's not just uh, it, I think, removes the repetitiveness, even though the texture itself is not very repetitive. It's actually a pretty good texture, this drywall surface. There we go. Hisham, I created a sky blueprint with volumetric clouds, but do you know how I can use a sky sphere to show stars at night? Oh, that's a good point. Uh, hmm. Well, as far as I know, the only time I was able to get stars to show through the engine because they I think they show up with the standard sky sphere, like the basic sky sphere that the engine has. It's it's only with that, unfortunately. So I wasn't able to get it to show as with a custom sky sphere, unless I think there needs to be some kind of transparency to it. But yeah, I don't know that much. I'm really sorry. I wish I could tell you more, but I just don't know. All right, and I think what I'm gonna do is just to see if I can manage this a little bit better, is I'm gonna try and get at least some of these joints to to match the support structure. We'll see if that works. Huh, dealing with the lighting channels. I don't know actually. But like I said, it was that the default skybox, which is um as I don't think I'm not sure if it's something like custom that is done through the engine, but yeah, I haven't really. The only way that I do it is I just fake it. Like the stars, just fake him with a cube map. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to export the drywall texture. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I don't really know what they've done or how they've done that. Meaning Unreal. All right, so there we go. This is what I was looking for. So right off the bat, what I can try and do is I can try and get the ceiling at a different angle. So that should also help. Let me hide these details for now. Actually, I think it's going to be fine if I just do like this. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and like center this on like one edge here, and then this one to this edge. So they're kind of going straight across the ceiling. Oh, hey, that's an interesting idea. I never thought of it, of doing it that way, Alanika. All right, so now that we have this, let's try and do the sides. But first, since we're here, let's also try and finish off the details here. There we go, like that. Because I'm gonna need to hide these. So this is what I meant, I'm trying to kind of frame these in between like these edges so it doesn't look like uh, the DIYer that did the framing in this has like really didn't care. All right, so now at least we have almost. So we got the corners. We got that covered, I think. Uh, yeah, and I'm assuming, like with these, you can like make him like the shape of a star or something like that. So I think it should turn out pretty good with that method. All right now. So let's see. I'm gonna try and get this here. and this here. So these two surfaces to hopefully match in this as good as possible. All right, can I just be able to focus on one of these? It's kind of funny sometimes when you have these surfaces, you can't get them to move the viewport properly, especially in perspective, in this perspective mode. There we go. That's better for these ends. Let's see what we can do, for example, here. If we can get some of this surface done. So luckily this is, well, luckily, not so luckily, but um, this piece here could have been done a little bit better from the geometric standpoint, but we'll try and manage. Um, Oops, I forgot that this is constrained to image bounds. So I'm going to try and get these, like, if you see these like uh, little bolts, to kind of get them to match where the door frame is as best as I can. It's not gonna be perfect by any means, but if I can get them close-ish. Kind of like so. For example, this piece here. Kind of match where that trim is. Maybe something similar over here if we can. All right, I know this is just being picky, but all right, there we go. Let's try to get this one. Like that. Let's see if we can do the same for this wall. And I'm gonna try and let's see here. These are not really separated where I really wanted them to, but see if we can move this way a little bit. Might get a little bit messed up, so I'm gonna try and bring this over here. Okay, that could be fine. I mean, as fine as it can be. So now this one, Got the bolts on that side. Or like the bolts, but the nails. Let's see if we can get this one. Okay, I mean I think that might be a little bit better than before. So I'm going to try and export this and see what we get. One thing to do, especially if, like myself, I built some of these collisions inside of Unreal, is to, whenever you do a re-import, is to uncheck the customized collision, so that way the engine doesn't try to replace what you already have when you re-import this. I mean, it's going to create it, apparently, no matter what, uh, but I can delete it and just keep what I previously had. And I thought that one kept the way it was, but maybe not. All right, so let's see. Did it not? It should have exported. Why did it not? Did I not import it properly? So export FBX, home interior. Oh, I actually re-imported the home exterior, I think. So let's try doing this here. There we go. So at least there's some lines. Some of them match, like kind of these little uh, these little nails are like on the sides of these wherever these like these braces are. So a little bit better, I think. And I can just use some of these decals to cover some of them, like where these would be the joints here and there. Okay. And what I was saying was that I wanted to do a little bit something a little bit different, well, maybe for the entrance. And as I said before, let's try and reuse some of the stuff that I already have. And hopefully we'll see how this is going to work. Easy there. So what I meant by that is a surface like this, where you have these pieces and some tile. So I'm going to try and get some of these, copy this. We'll see if I can copy from one level to another. I'm actually kind of curious about that myself. So let's see if we can edit and paste here. And there you go. That's pretty cool. All right, so this is what I wanted to do, something like this for like the entrance area. Probably a little fancy to go with, like this really high-end tile, but I'm gonna try and get something else on that, something different maybe. So let's see, maybe we can use, let's see, maybe a different color carpet, or just to add a little bit of variety inside that. Let's see about, Plywood. Not, I mean, not too bad, but it's just a little too industrial. Um, let's see, what do we have for some of the stuff that I've used before? A carpet floral section. Uh, how is this gonna look? I mean, this needs gonna need some material fixing, so maybe not the best choice. Let's see something else. Oh, there we go. I think this might work better. Okay, so I think that should work. And I just need to adjust this stuff here. All right. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. I wish it was a little bit more on the grid, but I did not place these the best way. So there we go. We have a little bit of an entrance to this. Okay, not too bad. Let's fix the UVs for the windows, the interiors, the interior part of the windows, and get those working out. Hey, Legends Never Die, welcome, welcome. All right, where's my blender? Here. All right. So start with the UVs. What I want to do is just select these sections and like that. Yeah, I should have just started with this part. So let's arrange these to match the wood grain. All right, and then let's also check on these ones. Some of these they got a little funky when they were unwrapped. So I'm just gonna, hopefully it's gonna look like a little bit of damage, so to speak. Hey Bob, welcome, welcome. Hello. And the other thing that I want to do while I'm here is also assign a different material to this because it's got the weird wood, like the wood attached to it, the wood material to it, so it's not really fitting for like a metal fixture. All right, let's get these ones as well. And that's good. Um, and this one also to assign the foundation metal. Let's also get this one in here. Like that. I think these should be So now you kind of you can tell that sometimes, it's all fun to do, some 3D modeling, but once you have to do it like that's all you do, I think it can get a little boring after a while. So this is kind of the one of the reasons that I like doing everything, because I don't get bored with things. And yeah, it definitely will take longer because, literally working on your own. But I think it might have a better longevity. Maybe other people feel different, but that's kind of how I look at it. Not sure. I think maybe burnout would be um, also a thing. But I don't know. I've never worked in a you know game development environment, company, so I don't know if that's the case. Yeah, thank you, Bob. I mean, that's kind of how I feel. And at the same time, I get it. There's also kind of the thought of um, you know, getting to do so many jobs that you think like, oh my God, I'm working so much. I totally see that side of things as well, because it might be where, not everybody is happy of doing, five different tasks. So that's also a difficult thing. But yeah, again, just in my case, those whenever the people say your mileage might vary. All right, well, we got some more of this stuff done. Let's export the exterior. And exterior back in here. So we got this one checked, the customized collision. Let's re-import this. All right, so I'm guessing even when you have this unchecked, I think it's maybe in the export window when you do it the first time. Hey Legends, how much money have you invested into this game, by the way? That's a really good question. I'd have to look, because I mean, as far as the money goes, it's nothing compared to the time. So um, I'd have to look at the stuff that I've purchased, because I think um, that's exactly where a lot of it went. You know, like I would say, um, if I was to like have a number like off the top of my head when it comes to like the stuff that I've purchased, um, maybe $1,000 or something like that. And a lot of them are just free. Like most of the stuff, literally most of the stuff that I have are not purchased. They're just free monthly stuff. And there's also the Sketchfab assets, which are also amazing. So those help a ton. But yeah, maybe it might be a low estimate, it might be a high estimate, but I think I'm around that number. Kind of considering like the the ones that I've bought. And I did have a few purchases that were in like the close to $100, but again, I guess that's why you have a day job, so you can afford to spend money uh, on some of these things. Okay, well, let's try it again and see how it looks with the player. Yeah, I mean, from the outside, it looks looking in looks decent. Yeah, and money is needed through some I can definitely see being able to make a game with no money at all, for sure. Like if I was to do it, it would have taken me a lot longer, for sure. But you can definitely do it. I mean, if you think about it, Unreal Engine is free, so you don't have to pay any kind of monthly subscription or anything like that. Uh, for texturing, Mixer is free, so you can use that to texture stuff. Um, and baking and all that could be done in free tools as well. Um, let's see what else. YouTube tutorials are free, so you can learn about mechanics and gameplay aspects and how to implement certain things. Um, I think honestly you can do a game completely for free, but it's the time that goes into it, so uh, like I'm not. It would have taken me forever. Oops, and I forgot about it. Somehow it got re-imported. It would have taken me, maybe I'm exaggerating with forever, but it would have taken me a whole lot longer to making. Oh yeah, like if you were to and if you were to have a multiplayer type of thing and everything like that, there's going to be some money involved. Like say for example, you put it up on Steam, right? You got to pay Steam. You got to pay for like a server, and I know there's like some platforms like I think what is it, Itch.io, where you can put your game up for free, I think. But what's the audience for that versus Steam? So yeah, it's uh, you know, I'm lucky to have a job, so I'm really happy about that. But yeah, it's definitely it's not easy for sure. It's a lot of stuff goes into it. But yeah, the mega scans, the free mega scans, that's awesome. It's but yeah, there's definitely going to be some costs. But that's not to say that, if you want to make a game and just share it with your friends, hey, um, you can end up with just, literally not not paying anything. But again, we're talking about, the free mega scans, making things yourself, and yeah, that's really time consuming. So for me, that matters quite a bit. So if I find something that is well priced, it's got a good quality, because there's a lot of stuff on the marketplace that is badly priced for what they offer. Um, like I get it, like, but are you expecting to just do like two or three sales? So it's yeah. Hey, Socino, how does copyright come into play with free assets versus versus paid. Yeah, what Alanika just said. But like for example, like I use assets from Sketchfab, so you got to look at the assets themselves. You know, they might be free to download, but they got a copyright license as well. You know, and it would tell you, you know, free for any use or free for personal use, only um, uh, you know, not for commercial use. So it's yeah, you have to look at the assets. So like literally what everybody else said in the comments, this is just I'm repeating it verbally just so that if I've had times where I wasn't able to open the comments in like when watching the video. So yeah, but just check the assets themselves. All right, let's test out the door in here, and for that I'm also gonna just copy an existing one from the town. Um, which were over here. Let me just see which one it is. Apartment, interior data layer. All right, let's grab this door here. Oh, no, I do not want to cut it. All right, so I'm just going to grab the frame and the door. So let's copy. And then we'll go back to our thing. Where was it? This one here. And paste. There we go. Let's see, does the editor lower performance a lot if you test your game outside? So Hisham, what do you mean? Like interiors versus exteriors, or? When you close the editor and build, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So it does increase. I haven't built that in a while. But the last time I tried it, it was quite a bit better if I recall correctly than what's in the editor. I mean, at the same time, like in my editor, I have quite a bunch of tabs open and extra windows, so that definitely takes the performance down as well. You know, like just having this open, it takes a few frames, and I have a few of them. So whenever you have like another one of those rendering windows, I'm not sure if you would call it that, but where it renders some kind of 3D item and there's like lighting involved and all that, it would decrease the overall FPS in the editor itself. So, you know, once you build it, you don't have that thing anymore, but yeah. All right, so let me get a door in here, like some kind of an exterior door. I think this should work. And then also like a frame for it. There we go. And as always, just keep it on the grid, because this helps immensely. Oh, too many zeros. And I'll show you what I mean by the grid. There, like that. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see if it opens. Will anyone notice if I make the doors open to the opposite direction instead of well, so I don't think there's an issue like the opposite direction. Do you mean like, for example, so let's take a look at this door. Let's kind of test it out that way. Um, so let me just jump in here. So hopefully you can tell me what you mean by the opposite direction. I usually try to open the doors in. Um, you know, well, actually, this one's not the right direction, considering the where the I was gonna say the ball joints, where the hinges are. So let's take a quick look at this. So this one should actually open the other way. And for that, let me see, where did I put it? Is door opening out? I think this might be the one. Let's take a look. I know I was playing around with setting up the direction of the door opening. We'll see if that works. You can just put two collision spheres that trigger rotation. Yeah, exactly. I mean, so Bob has a good idea there as well. Um, and I'm not sure, like, looking at um, looking at what they did in The Last of Us, where they have this kind of and it's not just The Last of Us. There's a bunch of games that have like a cutscene where where once you get, I'm not sure if you like interact with the door or you get close to the door, and it's yeah. So see, this is what I meant as far as like opening, inside versus outside. M- you know, most of the doors will open inside, anyways. I think the only ones that open outside, they're like barn doors and stuff like that for like exterior buildings. But everywhere that I've seen, I haven't seen a door opening outwards, aside from screen doors. So the screen doors, like the you know like storm doors, right? Those usually open outside because then you have to get in and then open the door inside. But uh, I think they're both easy. I don't think one is different than the other, Hisham. I think both opening it inside or outside, um, they would uh, they would be just as easy to implement. I think a good thing to look at is just the thing that I just shown you. Like for example, this door, once it opens inside, you can see like the hinges, right? So the hinges are in place. And that's but Bob is also right. Exterior like public buildings, their doors will open outside, and that's just probably more for kind of fire safety and all that. So people run out of the building. They just push the door. They don't have to like pull it and do all that. Um, yeah, and then again, if you're going to use animations when opening and closing a door, it's definitely going to be a little bit different. So in my case, I'm not using animations when opening a door. and like, player animations. But if you have an animation with somebody that just like pulls the door and then goes inside, I mean, I think that's fine too. I don't see an issue with that. Yeah, and the other thing, for example, in my case, is when you open the door, it's got like a collision sphere around it. So when you move out of that collision sphere, the door should close. I guess I wasn't inside of it. Yeah, so there it goes. Um, that was kind of interesting. Why did it? Let's see if I open it from here. Oh, that's interesting. I think that collision sphere is, I have too many collision spheres on this door. Because now it should close. So there it goes. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, with the two brothers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You did tell me about that. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. But if he's gonna play an animation as well, then yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Um, all right. One thing actually that I wanted to try is just from a lighting standpoint is if this was to be at nighttime, how would these lights affect the interior lighting of the of of this home? Excuse me. Yeah, so let's take a look real quick. I still need to remove like actually, I'm not sure if you guys can hear the audio from the desktop, so I'm going to turn that on as well. Hopefully it's not going to be too loud. Um, so yeah, I need to remove some of these debugs happening here. And it should have loaded by now. I'm not entirely sure why. Let me escape from this. Let's try that again. Okay, there we go. I'm not sure why it didn't, whoops. Yeah, no, dude, chill. Nothing's going on. Relax. Um, let's see. Do you have any solution for the light to go through the glass? I mean, the windows. Well, so there's always like the transparency of the windows, so um, like like you mean like this, so that the light comes through around there. Yeah, this is something that I'm not entirely sure why it happens. Like once you get close to a surface, it like kind of brightens up that way. Yeah, so like it's just the transparency. So with the transparency, you can get the the light to come through. Oh, what I wanted to check is how does it work? Okay, so the flashlight works okay. But that thing, I need to take a look at it and see why. There's something with one of the collision boxes that doesn't work properly, and that's why it doesn't close behind you properly. Uh, do you mean like when I have the flashlight on? I think it's a combination of the. So for example, when I was inside, yeah. So see, like on this side, it's not. It's something. Oh, I think it might be something with the light leakage. I think so. I think you might be right. Let's take a quick look because this is a good. This is really good right here. Let me select it. So here we go. Yeah. So see, once it gets here, let's take a quick look at that diffuse boost. Where was it? Lumen advanced. Nope. Maybe here. Advanced diffuse color boost. Oh yeah, that's huge. That definitely helped. But there's something else. It might be the skylight leaking as well. Which one was this? Like once you get close to the wall, see how that happens? And I think one is like the lowest that you can get, but yeah, this definitely makes that worse. Skylight leaking doesn't seem to be doing anything in here. And yeah, you are, I think you might be right, because I was playing around with this one, and I think I bumped up the diffuse, the indirect lighting. Yeah, too much. There he goes. Yes, yes. Thank you, Hisham, for bringing that up. That definitely did a number on it. Yeah, but it's interesting, like it's kind of like using moderation. So for example, like I want to use the diffuse sorry, the indirect lighting. So if this one was 0, and actually let me turn this off for now. So if like I have this one light here, right? If I was to make this what it was 10 again, you'll see that it gets all this really nice kind of light around here, and down here when there is like an indirect light. Of course, that's what's kind of tough, I guess, with dynamic lighting sometimes. And you're definitely right. The higher skylight intensity is a great point. So let me also adjust that. That's a great suggestion. So I'm gonna keep this maybe at 2. And let's take a look at the sky. And let's edit the skylight setting, skylight intensity at night. And this is again just playing around with this for a little bit. Yeah, so there we go. That works a little bit. And there's also, like with this one, in this case, the case of this light, if this one gets bumped up a little bit, you know, um, that could also help. But again, it's also like the distance to to the interior wall. And I think it's also a matter of how thick the wall is, like this distance between these. You know, like in this case of this, the wall itself is like really thin, and I think that doesn't really help. Yeah, but in the end, it's all about just faking it. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that for sure. But yeah, let's go back to daytime. And if I was to turn these off, you know, these two lights. Yeah, so this interior is dark again, but I wanted to, you know, maybe bump up the just to get a little bit brighter in here. Yeah, so for daytime, it should be fine like that. All right. Um, yeah, so I've extended this cabin up a little bit just so that so I'm gonna need to fix the UVs on this, which should be pretty straightforward. But yeah, overall, it came together pretty good. And the reason that I also wanted it to have it like this is that I can, you know, change the colors on some of these a little bit, you know, like just give it a little bit of a variety. And so for example, this one, let's see, we got these corrugated metal sections here, and we can, you know, maybe use, let's see, duplicate, just a slightly different material to give some variety, just changing the base color for this. And yeah, adding the light inside is a great thought, especially at night. And I think even during any other scenarios, because you know there's a light in there, and you don't have to worry about what's coming from the outside as much. So that's a great thought. Yeah. All right. So we got a little bit of a purplish hue in here. Maybe this guy wanted to paint his home green, reddish. There we go. Just to add a little bit of a difference in there. I've also lifted these up a little bit around here to have them a little bit on a different level. And so that's getting there. Changed a little bit of the foliage. So I've removed another one of another another piece of grass that you know didn't really add much. So now they all use the same material for the actual grass. You know, there's like some clovers in here somewhere, yeah, like that, and some flowers, and that's pretty much kind of the grass surface. Yeah, I do love faking light as well. It's always, you know, really cool to do. But you know, now that you mentioned it, and since I'm gonna be ending the stream shortly, let's try that out and see how it would look. Again, let's just go back to nighttime, and we have some like this one outside because I do like, you know, playing around with the lighting at night, and we'll just bump this up a little bit. And oh, I should have said something for the door itself to be like an open state, or you know, what's the initial state of it? I actually do. I thought I did have it. Let me see. Maybe I don't have that set available. Let's see. Opened, locked, opened. Yeah, I would have to set that up. But um, yeah, I think so too. I'm gonna try and see if I can get it to work a little bit better. But if we're playing around with this for a little bit, I'll try and see how something like this would look. So without anything outside, if I was to set this to like a really big value, is it gonna do anything? I don't know. You have to like bump this up a little higher or not really? Yeah, see, I was thinking it was gonna have a little bit more effect than than how it does out here. Because out here you can definitely tell, you know, when you have the indirect the indirect intensity set up really high, that it actually looks kind of cool. But yeah, I mean that's exaggerated. But once the light is inside, it doesn't do as well as I was hoping. Like I was kind of thinking that it might light up around here at least a little around the door, which it does, but not to uh, to what I was expecting. So, but out here, it actually looks kind of cool. Let's see. So, oh yeah, the overlight. Yeah, the direction light. So we were looking at a while back, and I did adjust it to be a little bit less intense. But then again, it's been a while. It's been a couple of updates on the engine. So so I'm gonna do a couple of changes here, just so that I apply these to the blueprint. Hey, Miles, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Oh, the directional light. Yeah, well, I think it's decently intense. I don't want to make it like, for example, if I was to, let's see, where is the night? Um, yeah, so for example, right now, if I was to bump this up, right now it's set to zero point 0.4. So if it was a 1, let me see. Yeah, see, it gets, I mean, it's still, I think it can still go to 1, but right now it's just kind of like an overcast intensity. So I think it might be a little bit too much. So zero point 0.5. But then again, you know, like for the nighttime, you know, for my project, it's going to be during the day. I was thinking of I had a lot of thoughts on how I could make it work during nighttime, but it was just a little bit too much extra work to get that done properly. So I think for the game itself, it's going to happen during the day. Uh, yeah, like I was thinking of, you know, having, uh, you know, changing the AI to reflect the fact that it's at nighttime and then versus daytime. So it was just got a little bit too complicated, and I thought, you know, maybe, you know, first, you know, try to get the demo out and get everything working, and then maybe add a nighttime. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Hey Miles, I'm working on a new map for the game. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So we should definitely you should definitely show it to me maybe next week sometimes. But yeah, guys, this is gonna be it for me for today. Like I was saying, a little bit of um, shorter stream today. I just gotta head on out. But thank you so much for stopping by. Alanika, take care as well. Hisham, Miles, everybody else that was on here, Bob, Legends Never Die as well. Thanks, guys, and I will see you next week. Take care, everybody. Have a great start of the week. And yeah, for next week, hopefully I'll get a little bit more of the mechanics, polished up. As far as like the stealth takedown, maybe do a little bit of a course to combat some of the enemies, and to play around with that for a little bit. 24-hour stream. Yeah, I wish I could do that, but no, unfortunately I do want to get up, get some exercise and some of that stuff. It's great to have this, to be able to do this even for an hour and a half or two, or 2 hours at times. I wish, when winter comes along, since I don't do any kind of winter stuff, maybe we'll extend it for a little bit longer. If you guys are gonna have the interest. But yeah, until then, and until next week, take care, everybody. All right, see you next week. Bye.